said you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the new and improved Wheeling the Pathway of Life, now coming to you from Studio A at Pacific Community Television. Today I have a returning guest, Bob Heck, the promotions director at Pittsburgh Community Television. Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me in the new and improved studio.
Even though you've been in the studio several times more than I have.
Yeah, once or twice I've been in here, yes.
You've been just about everywhere, including hosting the 4th of July parade.
Yes.
Which that went very well, even though we had a little bit of rain before the show, and just after the show we had a little bit of rain. So cleaning up was a little bit more messy than what we'd like. But
yeah, to say the least. We had to do a lot of running around because we got to clear off that stage where we're set up real fast because the city comes to take it. And then, you know, we only have so much time and to get that out of there, and then to get the pop-ups up to try and cover everything. Made for a much longer day. We ended up having to come back here afterwards to unload the truck a little earlier than we would have, just to give the equipment time to air out and dry off a little bit.
Well, as part of being doing live TV in the rain.
It is indeed, yes.
Yes. Sometimes it can be fun. It's supposed to be fun. And it is fun putting together a show and actually doing it. But the work that it takes to actually do it can be a little challenging.
Yeah, there's a lot of time before the parade that goes into it, setting up a lot of different things and making sure things go according to plan. There's a lot of work that happens beforehand.
Like, for this show, I was here like 2 hours before the show, setting up the studio, trying to get used to being out of Studio K and in the Studio A. So, well, anyway, we're gonna have a good show. But one of the things I brought you on for is to discuss not only eat pizza, but how people can become underwriters to the station and basically keep the lights on and keep the shows going, along with the annual memberships that we have to come up with to become an actual producer of this station, because believe it or not, as average things are, prices are going up these days because of inflation and everything, but we're trying to keep the prices down to where they're reasonable. So
Yeah, and the way organizations like ours are typically funded is through cable subscriptions. Now, the wires that go all over the streets of Pittsfield, the telephone wires that you see, you know, there's a cost to that. And for us, for the city of Pittsfield, and again, similar organizations just like ours have the very same agreement with the cable providers. So in lieu of Spectrum running their cables over our right-of-ways, we get 5% of what they make in television revenue. And that's typically how organizations like ours and many others are funded. So we have the double-edged sword of, you know, prices going up with inflation, but as prices go up in other areas, people are starting to cut their cable subscriptions, which takes a chunk out of our revenue. So that's where I come in, and we try and bring in sponsorship for the organizations in a variety of different ways. Of course, we have the memberships for folks like you and anyone in the community to become a member and produce programming here at PCTV. We also do fundraising events. We'll talk more about Eats a Pizza in a little bit, like you mentioned.
Bob, one of the questions that you may not be able to answer fully, but what is primarily your focus going to be when they decide, everybody decides, okay, we don't need cable anymore and go to the internet? How are we going to maintain funding on that part of it? Do we know yet?
Well, we're already starting to focus on that. First and foremost, we've decided as an organization to, for lack of a better term, skate to where the puck is. We have shows like this could be seen on the PCTV Select app. We use our Facebook for some live programming. And so we have moved to deliver some of our programming over the top of cable subscriptions because we know that's where it's going. But we're also hopeful. It seems in the Berkshires and in this area, people don't really like change all that much. You see that a lot in Pittsfield. So it takes them a little longer to cancel that cable subscription.
Well, you at least knock it down. They're starting to knock it down more than they are trying to cancel it entirely. What I mean is knock it down. They're trying to cut down the prices, but they're not necessarily cutting it out completely. They're trying to lessen their subscription money, but they're not trying to cut out the cable completely.
Certainly. So, yeah, there's still plenty of revenue coming in from that perspective, but I was brought in 4 years ago to start changing our revenue model a little bit, where we do have the underwriting and advertising avenues that we have. And, you know, I've always said, you know, we have to have the programming to match up to it. And I think we've moved a long way to, you know, rather than, hey, can your organization please give us money? Now it's more along the lines of, look, our organization can do this, this, and this for your business. And people are starting to see the value in underwriting and advertising with PCTV and WTBR.
I hope, not that my intention was originally to make it all about funding, but I hope my show can kind of say, if a person in a wheelchair can do it, so can I. You know.
Right, and you know, it's a terrific program. Everything that you do is amazing, but what other platform is going to give you the opportunity to do something like this?
Yeah, what other platform? What other platform, and who else is going to say, whatever you want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be all about disabilities. That's the basic format, but I'm willing to talk anything about disabilities or anything else for that matter, politics, or, you know, I mean, one of the reasons why I switched over from radio to TV is so I can get into more of the nitty-gritty of the politics and what needed to. I'm definitely not shy. I'm saying what I feel, and you know.
Certainly.
I feel like you have to be, and with not saying anything bad, but with the school system and with the way the contract's written, and that you can't get into politics, you can't get into religion and that kind of stuff, so it makes it kind of difficult to have a frank conversation with, you know, there's a way to do it, but for me it's a little more, I'm a direct kind of person, so that's, you know, it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to bow out, but I felt it would be beneficial for the show if I just went to TV instead of radio. And so far it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it seems to have worked out pretty well so far.
And one of the things that is coming up soon, and then we can get into Eats Pizza, is I'm gonna have my first international show coming up pretty soon.
An international show?
Yep.
Okay, what does that entail?
No, I'm gonna have an international guest
Gotcha.
on the show via Zoom.
Cool.
What it is my we sponsor a it's called Wycliffe. It's a international speaking. They go in and translate the Bible into the languages, and we've got somebody in Mexico doing that. So, and in some way, that is a disability in itself, because if you can't understand the language, you can't talk to anybody. So, it's you know. But due to security reasons, I gotta be careful if I get into specifics where he is because of some security issues. But,
oh, wow, okay.
it's one of those, if they don't like you, they can throw you out kind of deals. So, but anyway, Bob, let's go into the eat some pizza and how that went. What we how much participation we got. And,
so we ended up with, I believe, 9 pizza places that participated, and the turnout was beyond our wildest dreams. It was a super successful first event. The only really complaint we got was some people didn't know about it, despite our promotion and things like that. So the only complaint we really had was, I wish I'd known about it, because I would have gone. So we're fully expecting next year to be even bigger than it was this year.
We're hoping that it's at the same place, I'm assuming.
The plan is to keep everything the same, maybe add a few more vendors.
Okay. Anything that I can do to assist in that way, just let me know, and I'll put out as many PSAs as I need to.
Certainly. But we're a while away from that. That's
no,
not
but
gonna be
I'm
until
saying,
next
you
year.
know, we gotta, but you can never stop planning too early. That's one of the things I've learned in television. You can, when anything goes wrong, if anything's gonna go wrong, it will. So you gotta,
Certainly, yes.
you gotta be prepared for it. So, Bob, like we were saying before the show, anybody can come in and say, I want to give a donation and stuff. What's the difference between underwriting and just giving a donation to?
Well, simply put, if you give a donation, you don't get anything in return. Just the idea that you donated. We have a lot of people that come in and say, "Hey, I was in the area. We listen to WTBR all the time. Here's $20." I mean, that happens a bunch.
9 times out of
Yeah,
Right.
but underwriting is specifically for, local businesses as a way to support the organization, and then you'll get underwriting messages as in return for your for the payment. It's basically advertising, but we can't say advertising or necessarily do advertising. Underwriting's a little bit different in that aspect, but yeah, it's essentially an underwriting announcement that you get in return.
And basically, when you do underwriting, you not only get it in return for your underwriting. Every time we do a program, you can come away with a copy of it too, don't you? I mean,
Oh yeah, we could certainly send along, and sometimes you do. You send along for approval to make sure that you have the messaging right and what they're looking for.
and then they can use it whenever they want. They can use it whenever they want for their purposes, right?
Well, I suppose so. The underwriting message itself, I mean, it's not a commercial that you can bring to another entity to use.
No,
it's
but,
just an underwriting announcement. But yeah, if you want to put it up on your website or what have you, that's fine.
Yeah. And one of the things that people don't realize with me is I've been in the, as I keep saying all the time, I've been here forever, but Sean and I, the executive director, have been working together for the last 30 plus years doing the telethon and stuff. So, yes, I haven't been an actual producer for that long, but doing the telethon and getting set up for technical stuff and stuff like that, I have a little more knowledge than the average person. Just based on that, I just don't necessarily have the physical capability of doing a lot of it, but I can certainly tell people how to do it the best I can, and I think it's turned out very well. So I think it was a good opportunity for us to do this show, and it's amazing how one little radio show at WRS turned into now going to be an international, it's going to reach out internationally through the internet and through television. So it's amazing.
Excellent.
And you wouldn't imagine that you could do it in a little, what do we got, 45,000 people? No, I mean, about 45,000 people.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm just trying to get up
Certainly.
40 or 45,000 people in the city of Pittsfield, and we're actually producing and doing TV shows and stuff like that. So, and like Matthew says all the time, this is a little unknown studio. A lot of people don't know that PCT even exists.
Well, I think we've changed that a lot in the past
Yeah, but if they
3 or 4 years with our high school sports coverage and what we recently did with the New England Babe Ruth Regional and what we've done with elections and things like that. I think in the past 5-10 years, we've really done a good job of showing people what we are.
And you've done that a lot. What shows you've done as far as the spin-off of a very famous show, the restaurant shows where you got sponsors and you play the game?
Oh, the Meal or No Meal? Yes, that was something I wanted to do on radio for many years. And when I was over at the other radio station across town, and they kept shutting me down. And what I found here is when I come up with my crazy ideas, they say, okay, do it. And then I got to do it, which is the downside of it. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was during the pandemic, and we figured it'd be a great way to highlight some restaurants that were obviously struggling during that time period, and have a little fun with people that were, still stuck in their houses and not able to do anything.
And what the interesting thing is, and this is probably your experience too, I've given them an idea and then I'm like, okay, how are we actually gonna do this now? Now that I open my mouth and gotta think of a way to actually put it together.
That's what half the stuff around here. I mean, we came up with the idea for Eats a Pizza, and then it's like, okay, go do it. Oh, okay. I guess I gotta do it now. Same with the Radiothon that we do every November, the WTBR Radiothon. Just a lot of them, and I come up with ideas, and other people come up with ideas, and it's nice that we came back to the office so soon after the pandemic, because you could just pop into someone's office and say, what if we did this? And that person will say, that's a good idea, but what if we did that on top of it? And that's where most of the ideas come from. And obviously, in other aspects, the 4th of July parade, we've been doing that for years. And each and every year, we try and improve on it and do something a little bit different.
We needed a host for the 4th of July parade, so you just automatically.
Yes, they asked me to do it, and I'm like, fine, yeah, I'll do it. And it's been a blast the last couple of years. It's really been a lot of fun, and working with Becky Manship on the parade as well as everyone here at PCTV. They're very talented behind the scenes, and I'm not so talented behind the scenes. So they put me on camera, and it's been a blast. It's been an absolute blast.
I'll tell you, since I got a representative from Pittsburgh Community Television on this show, this has been one of the easiest ways for me to kind of forget the struggles I have through the disability and trying to get, because agencies inherently are saying, how can we help? Okay, how can we help you put this together? This is one area where I said, okay, I don't want help on this. I've got help coming in from the outside. I've got the crew from PCT, Pittsburgh Community Television. So this was one project where I could say, you know what, agencies, and I'm going to be over the blunt here. You know what, stay out of it. This is a project that I'm doing, and this is what I want to do. I will promote and I will discuss anything the agencies want me to to a limit, but I won't. Without them, I can still do something that I personally want to do. And I don't have to worry about necessarily what I say and whether it's going to impress them or whether it's going to, if I say something wrong, then necessarily they can't shut me down based on what I say, you know.
Right.
And then I can, like I said, get into the political side of it and, you know, say to them, okay, this is how I really feel. And whether or not they like it, it's just, you know, I mean, I won't be rude or anything, but, you know, people have opinions and we're all entitled to make them. And with the way our licensing is through Pittsburgh Community Television itself, we are under the First Amendment rights as far as the news media and stuff goes, as far as being able to do something in its entirety without having to edit to, you know, we can edit if we want to, but if we want to let something run as it is, people can say what they want to say. That's, you know, that's just a First Amendment right to be able to do. So.
Correct, and that's the difference between here and WTBR. WTBR, there are FCC rules that we have to follow here, not as much. And, you know, this is your program produced at our facilities, so it's not something we're going to stop or edit or censor in a sense. You know, that's our organization allows you to do what you want. It's your show. It's just produced here.
And that's why I can't say I work for PCD because I actually don't work for them. It's just a producing entity, and they give us the right to use the equipment, but we are responsible and we are paying for the service to be used. And if one person wants to come in and do a one-off show or a one-off event, there's no charge for that. But if they want to do a continuing show like this one, that does require a membership because it's utilizing staff from here on a regular basis, so it's...
Well, if you're doing a one-off, depending on the type of program, you'll probably need a membership as well. Like, I mean, the city of Pittsfield obviously has a membership, but if they call us and say, hey, we want to have a forum on the Holmes Road, we just want to have people come in the studio and talk about it, we'll typically make that happen whenever they need to.
And it's one thing that having an outlet for the city to come together, come and use the media quickly to get information that we need to get. And there's emergency management
certainly
access that people in the city can get into. So if they really need to get something out in the media quickly, there's a studio right here to do it.
Yeah, and the Pittsfield Police Department did a radio show here for a long time.
Yeah.
We'll see what the new chief wants to do as far as continuing that. But they have access to the studio whenever they need it. That was the whole point of the program, was to get the, so the police officers could do some community outreach and talk about what they have going on. But the other aspect of it was we wanted them to be comfortable with the equipment so that if something serious goes down in the city of Pittsfield and they need to alert citizens immediately, they can come to our studio and get that done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No, we don't have to. We don't. Just so people know, we don't have somebody here 24 hours a day.
No, we do not.
We do have. We get in those situations. We do have somebody that can come in and.
Yeah, I mean, we could typically work around someone's schedule within reason. I mean, our typical hours are 9 to 5, but we have radio shows that go late. We make accommodations for. Our staff is typically out covering meetings, you know, city council meetings. Those happen after hours, and we usually send a staff member to those to run the camera and make sure those get out over the air. That's a big part of what we do as well.
And there's one person in particular, I won't mention who it is, that only lives about 5 or 10 minutes away from the studio, so it's typically, if there's an emergency situation, we can typically get it out over the air. And whatever we need to do, we do. And like I said, and I'm just so my control room knows, I know we're not using PSAs, but it looks like that's the way we're gonna go for today, because this is a good conversation, so I'm just gonna keep it going. That's one thing I like, and you guys don't shy away from trying anything at least once. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but if it does, it does. Typically, from a disability standpoint, most agencies are like, how are we gonna do this? Can we do it or can't we do it? Or you were like, let's try it. He's got an existing radio show at WRS. He wants to put it all over the air. Let's start with let's start with taking the audio from WRS and just putting it over on our radio station. And then he said, well, I want to do a little more professional and technical stuff, so, and not unfortunately for UCP, they didn't have the equipment to be able to do it, but I have access to another facility that is able to do it, and much more professional and much more background oriented in the television and the radio field, so why not marry the two together?
Yeah, made a whole lot of sense, and you know, our philosophy is, let's do it. If somebody comes up with an idea, we're like, that's a good idea. Let's try and figure out how to do it. And we almost always figure out how to do it.
And you and that have very, the motto is, we can't do it now, but maybe in the future we can. Because I'll come up with an idea and this way, well, we can't do that right now, but there's no telling in the future we can't try to do it. But here's something we can do in place of the idea. Like I wanted to do the 4th of July parade, I wanted to do some camera work. So in place of that, they said, well, we have an opportunity at third Thursday at the end of next month to do a show, your show, live at third Thursday. You want to do that instead? Why not? You know,
absolutely.
It's the first time with the new mobile truck, so it's gonna be a little interesting.
It's not that scary, I promise.
No, but
Not that I know how to do anything in that truck, but
yeah, fortunately for you know more than I do about doing stuff in the truck, but
hey, you might be surprised. I don't think I do.
let me tell you, you look darn good doing the 4th of July parade.
I wasn't in the truck, though. I was out front. I had nothing to do with what was happening in the truck. I can go out and talk about whatever you want, but if you want me to push buttons in the truck, I'm going to mess something up.
Yeah. You need somebody that, but I want to say something, and I hope my control room doesn't mind me saying this. This whole show is basically run with people, by people with disabilities. My control room is being directed by someone that is up to this very mild, but it is a disability, and let's face it, we all have disabilities. We all have stuff that we can't do. Glasses are disabilities, and languages are disabilities. If you can't communicate with somebody, that's a disability because they want to be able to communicate with you, but if you don't know the language,
Right.
you can't communicate. That's what I like about your, even though I can't understand half of what you're saying, but the radio program you have with the Spanish-speaking.
Yeah, I mean, that's another terrific example of what we're able to do here that other stations just won't do. And we have two, I believe, Nomadas and Mundo Latino. And especially during the pandemic, Mundo Latino became a very important outlet, to get information to the Spanish community because nobody was really doing a great job of reaching them. And putting notices out about where vaccinations were going to be and things along those lines. But Mundo Latino was able to do so, and it was able to talk to government officials. Was able to talk to Tricia Farley-Bouvier, who I didn't realize was fluent in Spanish, and just tremendous work. And they've gotten a lot of, they won awards. They were featured on CBS News, and it's just remarkable how that little show has grown.
We can be a little known little station in Pittsfield, or we can be a national. Nationally known agency, but we gotta stay within the public access and the non-commercial stuff, but
Correct.
to keep our funding, but there's nothing saying we can't be out there in the forefront and put out good quality shows. Not that I'm saying any other show is bad quality or something, but believe me, throughout the years I've seen some pretty interesting shows. And a lot of people, in my experience, and like I said, this is my opinion, and only my opinion, but with an opportunity like this, a lot of people say, okay, I can just go in and do whatever I want. And I don't care about the quality, just throw something together and I'll put it on. Me, my show and my crew know that if it's not good quality and it's not professional looking, I'm not even gonna bother care.
Right.
Because because let's face it, I'm speaking for the city of Pittsfield, and I'm speaking for me as a person, and I'm speaking for the station, and I'm trying to get information out there that people need, and people want, and people deserve to have appropriate time and effort taken on it. So if you put together a poor quality show with good information, what's the good information gonna be if you can't put together a quality show to get the information out there?
Correct.
I don't care how good the information is if you can't professionally or... Now, keeping in mind this is a totally volunteer station except for the staff that are here to ensure that quality shows are done. But if the producers don't, I'm gonna say this carefully, if the producers want to do a show, they need to be somewhat dedicated to taking the time and putting a good quality show together.
Yeah, we're not here to ensure you put on a good quality show. We're here to provide you the tools to put on a good quality show and to teach you how to put on a good quality show. But if you don't want to do a good quality show, we're not going to stop you most of the time.
No, but
To be fair, I mean, we're not going to stop you.
yeah. I had one show, I won't say what happened, but I had one show. Then in the middle of the show, at the end of the show, we had to stop the show because there was something wrong with the computer and something happened, so it got a little hairy.
Yes.
And so we had to stop, and you know, but that is why we have staff here to be able to handle that kind of stuff and to be able to be right there and say, well, we can't do that, you know.
Right.
That was a case of I was trying to do a live Zoom show, bringing people in from the community live during the show and doing interviews that way. But somebody mysteriously took advantage of that and popped something in that wasn't exactly ethical or...
Yeah, it wasn't family friendly. It was not family friendly.
No, but see, little problems like that can happen. But that happens.
Well, that even happens nationally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we hear stories about that all the time, and
Yeah. Believe me, my heart stopped because I'm sitting home looking at it and I can't stop it. And it's
right.
like my crew was back here running around saying, what do I do? It's like,
I remember hearing the scream and then looking at the screen and saying, "Oh my God!" And then all of our staff came in and you know took care of it. And then so
yeah, but luckily for my crew, and this is a very well-deserved heads up on it, but on the air, only 45 seconds of that went on the air.
I don't even know if it was that long.
Yeah. We handled that very professionally and very quickly, and so even the non-professional people, because they're trained so well here at the studio, we can actually make mistakes like that and move on from it, and, you know, don't do that again.
Yeah, and I mean, Zoom created a new animal of how TV could be produced, and we never imagined the ability to be able to do something like that. So we certainly didn't anticipate all the potential downfalls of a format like that either.
Yeah. But I'm saying with all my experience with the telethons and stuff, I've been through a lot. Like I said, I got into the microwave days when we were using microwave signals to get in to my Greylock to feed it back to the system back here at Time Warner at the time. It was like we actually put a TV up on the balcony of the Crown Plaza and pointed it at the tower at Mount Greylock and fed the signal back into the ballroom from the TV. And that's how we got the microwave signal. That's how far back I go. Back into the days where we had the stuff on the pole where Time Warner at the time had to go turn around the microwaves and turn around the amplifiers so that we could backfeed the system from the Hilton instead of here, so we could backfeed the system and do the show from the Crown Plaza instead of the studio where we are now.
Right.
Now with the advent of computers, we can do it anywhere.
Absolutely.
As long as we can get a signal on. And for the most part, I'm not saying the quality is the best, but for the most part, you can even do it with a cell signal.
Yeah, if you're in the right spot, you could certainly do that.
Yeah, but like I said, you can't guarantee the quality. And again, will I actually do it? I don't know, depending on the quality. But one of the things I want people to know, and I want you to know, Bob, too, is I'm not afraid to get into controversial subjects, even with the city.
Sure.
And one of those controversial subjects, and I'm thinking about actually going to a city council meeting one of these days and saying it, is when you are dealing with department heads and stuff like that, you shouldn't compare your department heads with the department heads you have now. Because of the history with one department head, you shouldn't say, well, why haven't you done anything with what happened with this one? Well, it's because that department head's gone. We're moving on from something else. Half of the meetings that I see on public access with CityLink and stuff are 2 and 3 hours of meetings that are not talking about the actual meeting agenda. We're talking about stuff that happened in the past with department heads that, like the water department. Why didn't we do this 20 years ago? Forget 20 years ago. Let's just fix it and move on. A lot of stuff can be discussed in committee meetings and stuff like that instead of being on the public viewing area so that we can actually get a productive and meaningful city council meeting. But that's just my opinion, and I guarantee you, in my opinion, that's half of the city's opinion too. But, and definitely some of our opinions, because we sit here sometimes in the studio here with Studio K, and we sit here and we have to watch the city council meetings, but sometimes we just bring a book because we're just like, we don't want to watch this all the time because they're just talking about something over and over again. But we're still dedicated to putting it together and stuff. So, I mean, you know, it's just, you gotta pick and choose your battles. And maybe sometimes picking and choosing your battles and putting them on TV is not the best thing in the world to be doing. But, you know, that's just my take on it. But, anyway, Bob, how do people, one, get in touch with you, and two, what's the best way to guarantee, besides walking in, people can become members, or people can sponsor either a PCT or a WTBS slot?
The best way is to call it 413-445-4234. You can always drop by between regular business hours between 9 and 5 p.m. You can always shoot me an email at bheck@pittsfieldtv.org, or go to our website, pittsfieldtv.org. There's a lot of information on there as well. The new version of the website that was updated probably 6-7 months ago. So it's a brand new look, and it just looks awesome. And you can see our on-demand features and some of the programming that we have right there. And you can watch the live streams from there as well.
And you can actually watch this show from there too, Kim.
Certainly.
I know I'm on Facebook side on my side, and YouTube on YouTube. I got a Wheeling the Pathway to Life channel on YouTube, so when the cable system decides to be non-existent anymore, we can still go on the internet and do that. So yeah, this has been, I'd say, one of the most independent and meaningful things I've ever done for the last, almost 4 years now.
Yeah, about 4 years. You've been here almost as long as I have.
So, I mean, imagine, like I said in the very beginning, picking a show that was supposed to be just about my life and be just an autobiography, and it's turned into something like this. It's a testament to not only PCT, but me as a handicapped individual. And I'd like to thank Berkshire Medical System, Berkshire Medical, and the BHS team for keeping me going as long as they have, and for keeping me able to do this. But
Certainly.
with the advent of the technological ways of being able to do stuff on computers and do stuff on Zoom and stuff like that, I'm hoping to continue to do the show for years to come.
Awesome.
And hopefully someone out there will say, if he can do it, whether they got a disability or not, they can do it as well as I can. And they can, nobody's good or as bad as I am. It's just a group of people getting together and putting out what they want to put out. And
Right.
whatever they put into it is what they're going to get out of it. I just choose to take a little more time and put the best quality show I can. It doesn't mean that the other person's show's bad, but it just means different tastes for different people.
Right.
Bob, I think this has been a great show.
I agree.
I think we've learned quite a bit, and anything I can do to help you promote and push on sports and, actually go there and help make PCT better known and out there more, just let me know.
Sounds good. Will do.
So, this has been Brian. If you have any shows that you'd like to see and topics that you'd like to see on Wheeling the Pathway to Life, you can get a hold of me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life at Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. That's Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. And you can get a hold of me, and I can pass it on to Bob or pass it on to any crew members here. And I am looking forward to having shows from anywhere from the acting chief of police to DPW to the mayor to people from the school committee. I can even do, I'm joking when I say this, but I'm probably joking, but I can even do the janitor if you want to, but and the electricians and stuff like that. I don't think a lot of people would get into the janitor and the electrician, but anything you guys want or anything you guys need, I can come in as long as I have 24 to 48 hour notice.
Sure.
I can come in and do spur of the moment show. Of course, we'd have to modify the schedule, skip a show that week if I put in an extra show, but I mean, that all can be worked out because I'm only signed up for an hour show, so I don't want to go into a special 2-hour show if I don't have to, but
understood.
If I have to, I have to. That's why we got paper. So if we have to write a new contract, we will.
Absolutely.
But this has been Wheeling the Pathway to Life. Folks, I hope you enjoyed your show, and I look forward to doing many more shows in the studio. Thank you, Bob, for being the one to go welcome
You're quite welcome.
Wheeling the Pathway to Life in the studio, and I look forward to having him back in about 3 months and getting an update and seeing how things are going. And
sounds good.
Both from a radio side and both from a TV side, and see what we can do.
All right.
This has been Wheeling the Pathway to Life. folks, have a good afternoon, and we will see you next week.
You can bear